And good evening, my friend. It is 9:35 p.m. on a midweek. Happy Hump Day, Wednesday, January the 29th, 2025. In Ontario, it seems to be minus 25 overnight with wind chill, and it's getting pretty chilly. So I hope everyone's doing okay this week. Doing fine, keeping healthy, and having lots of water to keep hydrated, even in the cold. So, anyways, I just want to talk about my so far. I did a little bit of video there coming home. Been sober 2 days straight. No withdrawal. Yippee yahoo. Going to a recovery group on Monday. And me and another group went down to watch the movies on Tuesday. Very good movie. Excellent. And then it was a pretty good week so far. Although I'm still fighting this weird viral infection, like coughing and sniffling on off. Very, very persistent and very, very irritating. Got my haircut today, as you guys can see. Got a good, nice haircut. A little bob cut. Cost $40, tip included, of course, but it's well worth it. So I'm very happy with the haircut the gentleman gave me. And I'd rather pay for a haircut instead of let somebody free do it and possibly mess it up. So paying for it and getting a good job, well, you got a good tip, buddy. Good job. So I'm very happy with my new haircut. I'm still struggling with this viral infection in the sinuses, back and forth, very persistent, and so forth. Very, very pain in the butt. But anyways, I was just talking in my video there before about seeing some blueberry wine at the convenience store there nearby me. So I'm going to show you that. I put some in the cup already to let it breathe. It's called blueberry wine from some lakes. Very nice artwork on it. And I'm gonna save it for our week. Taste it. Blueberry wine. I poured some of it already in here. So I've heard of dandelion wine. There's red wine and white wine, but I never heard of blueberry wine ever. Well, let's sample this very unique wine from Muscata Lakes. Let's give it a try. I can't really smell too well because of the stupid viral infection. That's the thing. But let's give it a little sip. Here we go. Interesting texture. It almost tastes like it's kind of like a soda kind of sensation to it. It's not carbonated, but when I taste it, it reminds me kind of a cola in a way. It tastes almost carbonated, but there's no carbonation in this wine at all. There's no bubbles or anything. It doesn't really taste like a wine, like a red wine or a white wine at all. It almost tastes like a carbonated drink almost, more than a wine, to be honest. Like a wine seems to have a kind of like a certain taste with white wine and red wine alike. This blueberry wine tastes more like a carbonated refreshment more than a wine, to be honest. Although there's no signs of carbonation in it at all. Doesn't taste like a wine at all to me. It tastes like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It tastes like, I don't know. There's no carbonation. Hang on. It's not fizzing in my mouth like a cola. There was a very, very tiny taste of wine to it. Like there's a little tiny tinge of taste of wine, but it reminds me more of a how should I put it? It tastes more like another kind of drink, like those drinks filled with the mixed drinks, vodka and stuff, and it tastes more like it tastes like wine. Let's put it that way. I expect it to taste like wine, like red wine, maybe a bit of kind of like a kind of maybe a tinge of sourness or tinge of blueberry taste of wine. But it tastes like wine. It tastes carbonated in a way, to be strangely describe this one. And I'm just going to swish in my mouth and hang on. Doesn't taste like wine at all. This blueberry wine does not taste like wine at all. Like the way red wine tastes, it's basically grapes. White wine has a certain taste, like wine tastes like wine. This doesn't taste like wine at all to me. This blueberry wine has a very unique taste to it, but it does not remind me of wine. It almost has a kind of like a Coca-Cola flavor to be honest. It reminds me of tasting Coca-Cola in a way. Doesn't taste like wine to me at all. It tastes too much like a pop to me. Although there's no carbonation to it at all. Very interesting texture. It reminds me of drinking a Coca-Cola Classic, to be honest, which is very, very odd for a wine. Interesting. This blueberry wine reminds me of tasting Coca-Cola or Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke. I'm not sure if you guys remember how Cherry Coke tastes like back in the olden days, back in the 80s. There was Coca-Cola Classic, then they had the new Coke. Slowly after that, they had Cherry Coke and everything. It reminds me of Cherry Coke, actually. That's what it reminds me of. This blueberry wine reminds me of the taste of Cherry Cola back in the 80s. Now, I'm not sure how many people, how many of you might remember or may not remember Cherry Coke back in the 80s and the briefly brought back in the 90s. This blueberry wine reminds me of Cherry Coke taste. That's what it reminds me of, Cherry Coke. Or Tahiti Treat. It has more of a tinge of Tahiti Treat, actually, too. A mixture between Cherry Coke and Tahiti Treat Pop. Now, they had Tahiti Treat drinks at the LCBO, alcoholized, I noticed. Not anymore. They have Coca-Cola alcoholic drinks now. And they had Tahiti Treat. This reminds me of a mixture of Cherry Coke and Tahiti Treat. More than a wine. It tastes more like Cherry Coke or Tahiti Treat Pop, to be honest, than a wine. This blueberry wine doesn't taste like wine at all, to be honest. I expect something to taste like wine. Like red wine, white wine has that, smooth kind of flavor. This tastes more like Cherry Coke and Tahiti Treat kind of pop kind of taste, which is interesting. She tastes like a wine, not like this Cherry Coke or Tahiti Treat kind of drink. It's very sweet. And I imagine it's very high in sugar too. So yeah, I'm just gonna drink one glass and save the rest for whatever. It's okay, but I expected this to taste more like a wine than a Coca-Cola or Tahiti Treat, to be honest. But yeah, very interesting texture and so forth. But anyways, also I want to talk about racism on the rise. Aside from this drink, very interesting texture. Um, I was coming home from the food basis, getting garlic and a few things like that. Was called peppermint with ginger tea as well to help flush persistent bug or whatever inside me that's hanging on and dragging out my energy, basically. Pain in the butt. But anyways, when I was at the traffic lights, there was this guy in a pickup truck talking toward me. Now, all traffic going by, I could not hear what he was saying, and obviously, some disrespect was there, and the finger was right toward me. So he doesn't know me. I don't even know him. But I just kept walking on, ignoring him. Racism is going to be worse. He doesn't even know my name. He doesn't know where I live. He doesn't know what I do. And people will see you being indigenous or a certain color. They give you the finger or judge you when they don't even know you, which is stupid. That is racism. And it's getting worse and worse, you know. Uh, that's the thing. So me and my friend are going to start something in the future to make people more aware of the racism going on. She says she's going to do this and that with me. We'll see if she's going to do it or not. She never does. If not, I'll do it myself because I got a lot of plans ahead in my future for starting my own business and making awareness about racism and so forth and all that. So there's a lot of things that can cause racism. There's also racism blindness, where people claim they're not racist, have friends who are, of color, but at the same time they still make racist remarks toward people. That's called racism blindness. There's all kinds of terms I could talk to you all night about that, but we'll do another stream about that and talk about that more in detail. And also, I plan to do a presentation about that as well with somebody and start a business about that with somebody else too. So there's a lot of ideas flowing from my head. Looking for a job seems to be not in the books for me right now. And yeah, as I'm finding this virus or whatever the heck this thing is, as I'm healing, and I am gaining weight now, apparently. My friend, like I'm gaining more meat here. My pants are getting tight. I'm gaining a lot more weight now again, which is good. And my friend knows that too. Like I was skinny as a stick. Everyone said, "You were so skinny, we were all worried about you." Well, now I'm getting the weight back. So I'm coming back. It was all skin and bones here. You guys even saw how much weight I lost. Like around here, it was all skin and bones. You can see inside. Now it's all meat there. Meat. And my pants are getting tight. And I'm no longer a small size anymore. Even a medium. Some medium's a little bit smaller on me now. I'm not getting big and fat, but I'm getting my meat back. Let's put it that way. So those are the good things for me physically. I'm getting my weight back, getting healthy again, and so forth. Yeah. So we all have to stick together, help each other out. Thanks for support groups and so forth who helped me out too. And thank you for the group for taking us to the movies yesterday. That was a good movie. I wanted to see that movie since the summer, and it's so good to go as a group to watch the movie together. It's just wonderful to do things like that with a special support group and other groups who do social things that are healthy for you and supportive. And right now I'm drinking this weird blueberry wine. I really drink them by myself and not answer the door or be anybody who drinks too much and so forth. Those kind of people, no offense to them, but they won't bring you up. If they don't want to change your life and grow up with you, that's an unhealthy relationship. Healthy relationships, people want to grow with you and do good things with you, not drag you down and abuse you and try to keep you deeper in addictions. Not that it's their fault. Some of them want to control you and cause more trouble, but not all of them. It is what it is. That's all it is. That's the thing. And the past is the past. what can we say? So the thing is, right now there's a lot of bugs out there. Stomach flu going out there. It's a flu. There's COVID. There's a respiratory illness out there. There's a lot of viruses going out there. And I think I caught at least two of them already. Had a cold for a month, and I think I got something else that's hanging on. Hit my lungs a bit, not very badly, but it's going up and down and being stubborn. But I had 8 cloves of garlic in my spaghetti today early on. When I went down to the convenience store and talked to the gentleman about this blueberry wine, he said, I gotta go. I'm gonna go wash and be back. I guess I reek of garlic right now. But that's okay. I'm trying to flush this damn thing out of my system. Even 2 days not drinking tea, and everything. I got a peppermint with ginger and zinc and vitamin D in the tea today. And it's cheaper than getting two separate ones of one of ginger and one of peppermint. Why buy two of them separately and pay more when you get one that has both of them together and pay less? So I bought one with both of them in one bag, including zinc as well. So I chose that, and there's less of that in there, but it's a double whammy against the virus in me or whatever's in me to help me recover more too, and so forth. So when you shop for teas, check very carefully. Even though there's a deal on some teas, like $3 and $3 for one, like ginger and peppermint, $3, like $3 and $3, which is $6. I got the tea, even though it's small and compact, if you're sick, with ginger and peppermint inside with zinc and vitamin D. So I chose that one. Small and more compact, but because I'm sick, I want something short term to help flush this thing out of my system. And then I'll choose probably ginger or something separate, just as relaxing or whatever, all that. I have chamomile tea. I took 2-3 bags yesterday to help me sleep. I'm going to sleepy aid tea. I plan to get some melatonin. Melatonin you have to take within half an hour. After that, it's in your system. You can't sleep after that. So it's best to take melatonin in about within a half an hour to help you sleep. Anyways, I'm getting to all these health things and teas and so forth. We'll talk about that another stream, but the racism is out there, and it's going to get worse. So it is getting worse. But, they're just blindsided. All they do is see like that. They only see a narrow angle. They don't see the whole picture. They're brainwashed. They're ignorant. And I feel sorry for all racists, making racist remarks toward me, calling me names when they don't even know me. The most common racist remark for me is calling me the drunk native. When there's so many people who drink 10 times worse than me. Like when I drink, I go on a binge. Yeah, I go on a binge. I have been getting worse because of all the things going on with it builds up, but I'm glad to have my support group now. And yeah. I was a train wreck, and I was heading toward the mountains crash if I didn't stop. So I'm thinking I've got support groups and everything now. Otherwise, it would crash big time. That's the main thing. Especially during the holidays and so forth. That is always the worst time. Not just for me, but for a lot of people. And generally, there's a lot of people still depressed. Not enough vitamin D. Get enough vitamin D in you. The sunshine vitamin, as they call it. That's what you need. And yeah. Racism is out there galore. Bullies out there galore. Violence out there galore too. It's getting very, very dangerous in the world these days. And that is the fact. There are fake friends. There are people who stab me in the back and spread lies about you and everything. That's why I don't mind my own company. I find it very hard to trust people. Support groups are my number one thing right now as I heal from trauma and try to wean out the drinking. and so forth. Of course, I relapsed after New Year's Day being arrested, of course. I was just starting my recovery about 2 weeks before that. The nurse told me it's normal to relapse, especially when you started recovery. And after that instant, of course, you relapse. That's normal. But that is normal, of course, normal. But the thing is, we need support groups more. And we need to make people aware what is right and what is not wrong about racist remarks. I was in the resource center one time, and someone was there going blah 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 blah, drunk native, blah blah blah. For the first time ever, in all the centers everywhere, someone actually stood up for Indigenous people, walked toward the guy, one of the staff members, and said, "You do not use this word in a place like this. Do not use those words against Indigenous people. That is racist." Well, that's a blah 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 blah, fucking drunk native. Don't use that word, or you're gonna be leaving here right now. That's what he told him. Making racist remarks toward Indigenous people. He is the only one of all the places in the community so far who has stood up against racism, against Indigenous people. I was going in, my own business, having my coffee, having my lunch, when this person was making racist remark, when the staff member, the only one so far, has made a stand. Make which that person deserves a lot of acknowledgement and respect. And I always remember that guy. That guy was an awesome guy. You don't use words like that. That is racist. That's verbal harassment. Police, I don't give a damn if you're a cop, security, or whatever. That term is racist. And charges can be laid for racism, and that could be considered verbal harassment. And that can cause emotional pain and suffering, depending on what kind of situation a person may have gone through in the past and so forth. So, yeah, that's another thing to be aware of for everybody. Yeah, that's the main thing that counts. So, I am a hard worker. I work in a warehouse. Everyone knows I'm a hard worker. When I was working in a warehouse, I worked hard. Years ago when I worked hard. I was born to be a hard worker. I succeeded in the world of work. Of course I did. I was a very hard worker, and I was dedicated. And everyone knew that. But when being bullied and being harassed and violence is inflicted upon me, again, repeatedly, that takes a toll on somebody, especially when there's no support or anything being done about these bullies and so forth. So these are the future issues we have to deal with, and we have to band together to try to rectify the situation and make legal action against people who make racist remarks toward people. Charges should be made. Verbal harassment, racism, causing emotional pain and suffering. Something should be done about that in the future, since this is obviously escalating and so forth. So, yeah. My advice is to keep recording everything and make charges against those who make such remarks toward you if cause you emotional pain and suffering. Indigenous people, people of color, immigrants, we have to band together, not go against each other, because we need respect and we need to understand each other and so forth. So, anyways, I'm just gonna take now some of this weird tasting blueberry wine. It's like Coca-Cola Classic or Cherry Coke or Tate Treat or something more than wine. Ugh. It's okay. But anyways, I'm gonna hit the hay soon. It's 10 o'clock, and tomorrow's gonna be a brand new day. So take care, make witch, and yeah, we gotta stand together. Have a good night, people, and stay safe.